Gosh, check this out. It's all over Twitter. She wanted to take her girlfriend to the high school prom. And the PTA went apeshit and they canceled it.
We have got to go down there
Yes.
and raise holy hell.
Yes, we will be the biggest thing to happen in Indiana since whatever's happened in Indiana.
We have come to this community.
It's time to build a prom for everyone. Show them all it can be done. If music was time to dance,
Okay, I admit that got to me.
it's time to dance. It's time to dance.
What's going on there, YouTube lands and also Soda Music lands? Welcome to an all-new review. So in this review, we'll be talking about one of Netflix's newest releases that just got released. That is a musical and kind of based on a theatrical play as well. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the other videos I put up or any of my older videos. So as like I said before, let's get right into this and see what it's all about. So welcome one and all to an all-new review of social media lands and YouTube people of all lands. Welcome! Haha. Anyway, so like I was saying before, we're going to be doing a review of a Netflix movie that just recently came out. And is a musical slash based on a theatrical play, like I was saying before, that is directed by American Horror Story icon himself. Now, the film I'm talking about, of course, is the film called The Prom. Oh yeah, The Prom. The Prom. So yeah, The Prom is an interesting film. Definitely not the greatest film I've ever seen, but definitely an interesting film. Now, this film is none other directed by, like I said, an American Horror Story icon known as Mr. Ryan Murphy. Oh yeah, Ryan Murphy. So Ryan Murphy, of course, we know as the creator, one of the creators of American Horror Story, and it's going to be subsequent spin-off series too as well. He also has done such TV series as the O.J. Simpson one, American Crime Stories, the Versace one as well, and he's done a ton of things over the years. Huge producer and so forth. So a couple of films that Ryan Murphy has directed, one of them I've seen, one of them I haven't seen. Both of them are very interesting types of films that have, very diverse cast and have a very interesting message. Now the first one happens to be a 2007 film that stars Alec Baldwin, Jill Clayburgh, and a huge ensemble cast. And it's called Running with Scissors. Oh yeah, Running with Scissors. Ooh. Running with Scissors. So like I said, this is a dramedy type of film that basically is about this 15-year-old boy's life and how he's coping with life, the dissolution of his parents' marriage, just him growing up, learning about love and life and all that kind of stuff. Now, from my understanding, Ryan Murphy did a really good job with this film, gave it a really interesting twist, and put a lot of great effort into bringing to life this, film that's based on a true life story of a gentleman named Augustin. And basically the whole movie is kind of based on his true life. So, I mean, from my understanding and from what I saw in the trailer, looks like Ryan Murphy did a really interesting job, gave us a really fantastic film, and also just did a really good job of keeping it pretty true to the original material and the truth that about the guy's real life story. So definitely something I'll be checking out soon, eventually feature. I actually own the film, just never watched it. It was my wife's. She had it in her collection when we got together, and I still haven't watched it, so it'll be interesting to finally check out here in the future. So the second film that Ryan Murphy has directed and is his only other really directing feature-length film. And that, of course, is a Julia Roberts-led film with also Javier Bardem in the film. And that, of course, is a film called Eat, Pray, Love. Oh yeah, Eat, Pray, Love. So I actually watched this movie back in 2012 when it first came out on DVD, and I thought this was an interesting film. It's not the greatest film, it was kind of boring in certain spots, but definitely had a decent class to it. Now, I thought Ryan Murphy did a good job of, adapting material from the book and giving us this interesting take on the book. I thought Julia Roberts was well directed. I also thought Javier Bardem was really good in it, and everyone else in it did a really good job of portraying the character that they were supposed to be. And I just thought that, Ryan Murphy took the source material and did a pretty decent job of keeping it pretty accurate to the book and also at the same time just giving it a interesting, one of his own twists like he does in American Horror Story and so forth. So I thought all around it was a well-rounded directing effort by Ryan Murphy, and I thought he did a pretty decent job. Not the greatest movie, but I do recommend checking it out. If you haven't seen Eat Pray Love, give it a whirl, people. It's not too bad of a Ryan Murphy directed film. Now, it comes to directing The Prom, I thought, he did a decent job. I thought that he did a great job of adapting the musical / kind of screenplay that he got it from, and he gave it an interesting, Ryan Murphy twist as well. I thought that he did a good directing of given a, somewhat decent storyline, but there was definitely ins and outs of the storyline that could have been redone, but I definitely thought that he did really great with the musical numbers and the dance sequences and stuff like that. I thought he did a good job with that, and just gave us a somewhat entertaining type of film. Not the greatest film, but definitely a decent, directing effort by Ryan Murphy. So this movie has a really all-star cast, from Kerry Washington to Michael Keegan Key to many other great, actors and actresses that were involved in this film. Now, a couple of the people I'll be talking about that were the main cast members in this film are some really great actors and actresses. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about, of course, is the Academy Award most nominated woman / most and several wins, Miss Meryl Streep. Oh yeah, Meryl Streep. Oh yeah, I absolutely love Meryl Streep. Think she's an amazing actress. She's been so awesome and just outstanding in everything she does. Always enjoy her in anything she does. Even the movie itself isn't the greatest, she still is just an amazing actress. Now, a couple of films I really enjoy that she's been in is none other than a great film that came out a few years back, back in the 90s, that is an action-adventure film. And that, of course, is a film called The River Wild. Oh yeah, The River Wild. This is such an amazing film. Kevin Bacon's in it. David Strathairn is in it. This is just a really hands-down amazing film that I don't think gets enough credit for how good of an action flick it is. And Meryl Streep just plays the character of the wife that is, in peril and trying to survive and keep her family safe and all that kind of stuff, and she just really put on point, was a really awesome action star in this film. Really enjoyed her performance in it, and just thought she did a well-rounded job, and showed that she can do action too as well, besides drama, comedy, and so forth. So that brings me to the second film that Meryl Streep was in that I really enjoyed her in. Now, this is a 1978 classic film that is a Academy Award-winning film with an Academy Award-winning cast that just had a really great ensemble cast anyways. And then, of course, the film called The Deer Hunter. Oh yeah, The Deer Hunter. Ooh, such a great film, such a great masterpiece of a drama, action flick, dealing with people that, unfortunately have been in war and basically dealing with that and just the odds and ins and outs of being in the war and the Vietnam War and stuff like that. I mean, this has Robert De Niro in it, it had Christopher Walken in it. I mean, this movie had a great cast, and Meryl Streep was hands down amazing in the film. Really enjoyed her performance, thought she was really on point. I thought that her direction in the film was on point too as well, that she did a really great job of delivering exactly how it would be to be, this woman that is dealing with somebody that might have, postpartum depression or have, the problems of a vet would have from being in war and stuff like that. And just the way that she delivered it was so realistic and on point. I really enjoyed it. I thought she was a really great addition to that film, and just made the film a very well rounded and whole film, along with the other actors in the film. If you haven't seen her performance in The Deer Hunter, definitely check it out, people. She was amazing. Now, it comes to her performance in The Prom. I thought she was on point again. Thought she was really fantastic. I thought she was fun. I thought she was hilarious. I thought that she did a great job of the singing numbers, and her singing is always on point. I feel I love listening to her sing, and I just really enjoyed her as the character she was in it. She kind of played what most people probably with her type of stardom would act like if they weren't so humble. And that's what I liked about the character, because it's completely not what Meryl Streep is. And I loved that she brought that out so well and was so well directed by Ryan Murphy. Really amazing performance by Meryl. I really enjoyed her in it. I thought she did a really great job. So that brings me to the second actor I'll be talking about in this film. And that is none other than Mr. Show Host himself, Mr. James Corden! Oh yeah! James Corden! Absolutely love James Corden. I think he's hilarious, awesome. I love anything he's in. I think his voice is amazing. I absolutely love listening to him talk because he has just one of those really great English accents that is just really fun to listen to. So I think James Corden did a really amazing job with this role. I thought that he, just was on point, really well done, and I just thought he did a really fun job throughout the film, and he was super funny. And I loved the enthusiasm and the emotion he put into the character of being a gay man too, as well, dealing with coming out and dealing with a family that doesn't throws him out on his own because he says he's gay and stuff like that. I thought he did a really awesome job with that source material. He was really good in it. I really enjoyed him. Thought he was on point as well, and his singing was fun too. If you're a James Corden fan, definitely check out The Prom for his performance. He was really spot on. So that brings me to the third and final person I'm going to talk about in this film, and that is none other than the other kind of lead anchor in this film, and that of course is Miss Nicole Kidman. Oh yeah, Nicole Kidman, ex-Mrs. Tom Cruise. Yay! So Nicole Kidman, we all know from a slew of films of the years. She was in Eyes Wide Shut. She was in No Time to Die. She was in Dead Calm. She's been in a ton of films over the years. She's a decent actress that I always usually enjoy and everything, and I thought that she was an interesting choice for the film. Now, the couple of films that I've seen her in that I really enjoyed her and thought that were some of her best films is none other than a great film that came out in the early 2000s starring with Will Ferrell and is based on a great TV sitcom. And that, of course, is a film called Bewitched. Oh yeah, Bewitched. Ooh, Bewitched. Ooh. So Bewitched is a great comedy film based on the TV show from the 1960s and is just a really fun rendition of, basically making fun of that TV show, basically. And Will Ferrell and Nicole Kidman worked really well together in this film and gave great performances. I loved her comedy cues in the film. I thought that she played the character to the T. I also just thought that she did a great job of interacting with the other actors in the film, from Steve Carell to Will Ferrell to everyone that was involved. And I thought that she brought a great essence to who Elizabeth Montgomery kind of played in the original TV series. And I think Elizabeth Montgomery would have been impressed with her performance. Really enjoyed her in it. If you like comedy, you like Nicole Kidman, definitely check out her Bewitched performance. I thought she was on point. So that brings me to the second film Nicole Kidman was in that I really enjoyed and thought she was really excellent in. Now this is another one I feel that doesn't get enough credit for how good of a remake / kind of reintroduction to this type of film. And also from the original film, they took it in a completely different direction and made it more of a comedy this time around too, which I thought was really impressive, and they did a really good job. And then of course the film called The Stepford Wives. Oh yeah, The Stepford Wives. Oh yeah. So the original one came out in the 70s, is really more of a dramatic kind of sci-fi / kind of thriller type of film, where they took that and made it into more of a comedy film with a little bit of mysteriousness to it, or thriller side. And Nicole Kidman plays one of the main characters in the film, and she is really amazing. Super hilarious again, super on point, knew her lines, knew her script very well, and interacted with everyone very well and flawlessly, I felt. I thought she took great direction by Frank Oz, and just gave us this really great performance, that she is a great comedian. And I just really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a really well done film. From Matthew Broderick in it, to John Lovitz, to Glenn Close, Christopher Walken. This movie had an all-star cast. Bette Midler was in it. When it comes to The Prom, I thought she was kind of on the back burner for this film. I don't think she really brought a great, sense to the film. I definitely don't think this was her forte. I'm not usually used to seeing her in type of musical film. I don't think she's done any other musical films. If she has, please let me know down in the comments. But definitely, I don't feel this was her forte. She was okay. She was decent, but I don't think this was one of her better films. And I was actually kind of throughout the whole film, was thinking, I could have done without her character. Everyone else was just so much better, I thought. And I definitely thought that they could have done a better job of maybe picking somebody else, because I just don't think she was fit for this role. And I just don't think she really brought what they were really looking for. But definitely not the most horrible performance, but definitely, definitely not the greatest. If you're a Nicole Kidman fan, definitely give The Prom a chance just to see her performance and, see if you like her performance in it, because I thought she was okay. Nothing, bad, but at the same time, I don't think it was anything great or a good casting choice. So what is The Prom about? Basically, it's about this young girl that has come out and is a lesbian, and basically the school she lives in, goes to school at, and in the city that she lives in, unfortunately have decided by the PTA not to allow her to have prom because they don't want a homosexual there. And because this city is still very in its, infancy of, being understanding to the LGBT community. And this is actually based on a real occurrence that happened in Mississippi back, I don't know, I think it was the early 2000s, that became a musical and a play, and then ended up becoming a full-length feature film. And basically it's about her and how these other people in the community banded together to make a prom just for her and her girlfriend, so that she could feel normal just like any other kid. And it's basically about that. So I thought it was an interesting, definitely a very nice commentary to, show to the world and to, help people that are LGBTQ to be accepted, and definitely a great message, to the world. But at the same time, it's just one of those types of, films that it was okay. It wasn't anything great. I wasn't really impressed with it. I've seen a lot better musicals over the years. Definitely, though, I would say definitely check it out for your own viewing to see if you like it. Definitely not in my top 10 or top 20, but definitely it was fun to have said I've seen it, and definitely enjoyed James Corden and Meryl Streep in the film, because they were definitely the best parts of the film. So that's it for this movie review. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, and also thank you for being a subscriber. And this is your first time here, don't forget to check out any of my older or other videos you might have seen on yet. And as always, check out the awesome links down below for my Patreon page, and also for my amazing TeePublic store, where you can get merchandise if you want to, show some love for a fellow YouTuber, or just a YouTuber you might like. So yeah, definitely check those out down, people. And as always, catch you in the next one.